eat you, the tiger eat you. And who have second homes? Europeans, the French.
Yeah.
There's areas in Senegal, like Paradise Island, where the white folks, the Europeans, they have their setup, right? And they have second homes. And they live like kings and queens. But with us, we scared.
But you know what it is, Brother Khalfani? Our people watch Tarzan.
Tarzan.
When you watch Tarzan, that little white fella in the little loincloth, woo, swinging through the tree, and he get all these little fellas dancing up with some spear, and they in the middle of the jungle, ain't no city.
Right.
And you know, the thing with you, I so glad you mentioned Maldi and Timbuktu.
Yeah.
Because when Europeans were in the caves, Timbuktu was one of the greatest universities, one of the oldest universities in the world.
That is true.
They had the largest, Napoleon III.
Yeah.
But in the library, when he saw how large it was.
Yeah. One of the first, Bahamians must know that one of the first university built on the planet was in Africa, in Timbuktu. And that's a fact. That's no babble, man. You know, that's a fact.
But you know, you talk about the boundary lines that were drawn in Africa that still are there. You need visas, whatever have you. And that's Africa. But here we are in the Bahamas. And here we are right now is about to celebrate
36.
Independence, emancipation. You could look at Africa and say, well, as you said, you know, the whites are living life at life a key type life, and we are still scared. What have you really done with your so-called independence to say you're independent now from what? You are not afraid of what or who. And the laws that you have inherited from the colonial masters. How would you say you are different from the Africans who have not removed some of the boundaries that they were divided up into?
We victims of that too.
You as the people have not removed any of the colonial laws that you inherited, and you say you are suffering by it?
And the Senegal have the European laws as well, right? I mean, the French law, the civil law of France.
Yeah,
this part of the problem, you know, our Pan-African League, part of the problem, Brother Ali, sorry, Brother Khalfani, but I think part of the problem is where are our Pan-African legal scholars? You know, we've had a lot of Pan-African economists and Pan-African architects who want to build an African nation. But the legal scholars that will take the African legal system and bring it back to pretend now, for instance, in land, in Africa, the whole concept of land in traditional society, you can't own the land. You can never own the land. You are a custodian of the land. It's from your ancestors to you. You hold it on behalf of the ancestors before you because they sacrificed for you to have it. And you also hold it on behalf of future generations. So you are custodian of the land. You can't sell the land like that. Now you have European law that created situations where you can sell land in Africa. But in a lot of the rural communities, you can't buy and sell land like that. You have to become a member of the tribe.
Yeah.
And you got to tell the people that your generations come in to occupy that land. So part of our problem is just like the Evian water and the French bread. We become seduced with the Western legal system, the French, the Napoleonic Code, and the common law legal system. And until we as Africans put our legal scholars together and try to come up with a legal system that benefits us, we can be in that problem. I think the boundaries is part. The boundaries are symptomatic of our problem.
Brother Khalfani, Brother Han, at one point in time, since we were chained up and brought, west, we had no other choice. But there are those who made the sacrifice to educate our generation. You even made a greater effort to educate your children. with all this education that we've been to schools in France, the United States, wherever the colonial masters are, what have we learned? If until now we realize the things that were done wrong. But what are we doing as now to bring about that change?
You know, today before I came, I had to read some information, some Quranic ayats, some verses, and some stuff and historical stuff. And one of the things I was reading from a book from Senegal is I said to my wife, this president now, President Wade, he's called Wade, is Wade, we say with Wade, but W-A-D-E, but they say Wade, President Wade. He's the third president since our independence. These people were educated in Europe, like all our leaders, right? Most of them were educated in Europe. So they come to govern with a Eurocentric perspective. Interesting that 3 leaders in Senegal, every one has been married, including this one, a white French woman, right? Not even a Muslim woman. They never converted. 3 white women who never converted. But they don't have to convert because Islam doesn't say you have to convert. But I'm just saying the mentality of the men. So I said to my wife, so they're more like preparing for the new generation of leaders who at least would have a black Senegalese wife, right? That represents.
You think that's going to happen?
They, from my wife's perspective, and because what she's known, what she does for the politics, is that the leaders, emerging leaders, are coming at least with a black wife.
You can agitate them, eh?
Well,
but Khalfani, no, man. You've been agitating us in the Bahamas for the last 30, 20 years. Time for you to go to Senegal and wake up my people, because really, you know, I am a little impatient. Because I'm looking at the African continent behind you, and all I see is one big ball of confusion. People who are confused about their identities, they're losing contact with their source. You still have solid people there.
Yes.
But it's as though, like, for instance, it's the problem that's going on in Somalia now.
Yeah, in Darfur.
And Darfur and Sudan, in Sudan. And I mean, why is it that we can't throw out the kind of leadership that has the maturity to sit around a table, iron out differences? Because, you know, I mean, you pointed out some time ago to us, this African continent, when you're talking about uniting Africa, you're talking about a diverse people. Why is it that we haven't had the kind of leadership that recognizes the diversity, that recognizes the challenge, and move away beyond the national boundaries that the Europeans put there for us?
Bahamians need to understand that the leaders come from a particular generation. And to be a leader of these countries, generally speaking, it means that one of the colonial powers back you.
Okay.
Right? So all these 3 leaders, where did the 2 other presidents live? When they were defeated politically, they went to live back in France. Back in France. They didn't just stay there.
Yeah.
And Abdullahi Wade, when he is defeated, he will take his family and go back to France. So this is the mentality of the people. And a lot of like the brother asked about the fighting. One of the things you must understand, especially the major fighting that normally occurs where a couple of countries. But look at here. Cote d'Ivoire. Here and Nigeria. Where's Nigeria? Quick, where? Nigeria.
See, Nigeria. We're Nigeria.
Yeah,
Right
Nigeria
there.
here and here.
Yeah.
These 2 countries have a population of, there's only fighting, major fighting, where it becomes religious, where there's a balance of where's a similarity in percentage of Muslim and Christian.